Look, I'm reviewing 1431 and I'm struck by the fact that to love is to have a great need. And it comes about by your great willingness to need that person. You keep filling your mind with their welfare possibility, being a blessing to them, the joy of meeting the need they might have. If you find they have no need for you, they have no love for you, you're filled with sorrow. Loving makes you very vulnerable. You have to be careful in a dangerous world of who you risk loving in case you get mauled in the process. But in a universe where God always loves you, you can take that cost because you know you have this security of God who loves you. Do you see, you couldn't be sent unless you were so armed with such assurance. And I am beholden in a wonderful, lovely, perfect way to God because he makes himself vulnerable to me by choosing to love me when I didn't know if I loved him or not, or if he existed or not, or if he was who he is. Sorry, if he is who he is. Let me pause. Yes, it's more, you see, you choose to believe that they have a need for what you truly value and that you are to bring it into their life. In other words, you respond as Jesus responds to us in the story. I am come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. And we don't have a conception of that life, but he does, we assume. And he wants it for us. And he won't be happy until we have it. And in the meantime, as we are numb to it or reject it, this causes him, this is a great demand on him, because he knows what he wants. He wants to bless us. That is what love is, a tremendous desire in me to bless you. And this desire is created by me, whether you want it or not. So you find someone loves you and, oh, well, I don't love them. Oh dear. And you don't value what they want for you. They want to spend their life with you, making you happy. Do you want to spend your life with someone else or some dreamed of someone else? Now the cost to them is enormous because they are loving you, perhaps flat out, and you are rejecting, of course, because you don't value what they have to offer. Well, we are sent that they might have life. Because of his love in us, we have a great desire that this love be in you too. So, how do you respond? You may not respond positively because you are not touched by this inclination that they have, by this determination that they have, and by what they value. You are not ready to be loved by them. So Jesus does not force upon, he says, those that have ears to hear, let them hear. Come unto me, all who are, and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. In other words, you must have a need. Now, my need was unusual from a Christian religion point of view in that I had a need for God to exist so I could be thankful to him because I was so happy, because I was in love with the girl. I couldn't express it to her because she was in love with someone else, and therefore it would have been inappropriate. It's cutting across what she truly values. She must go for the one she values, this farmer from, where was it? Lincolnshire, which is where she was from. So, you, like Jesus, are going to be sensitive to those that respond well and those that respond negatively. You can keep on kicking down the door, of course, if you wish, but they will turn and rend you in defense of who they are and what they value. You should back off. God does not ram the gospel down your throat. Most of the children in the world do much wrong without God standing before them and saying, don't do this, you're wrong there, etc. One or two people get pulled up, but typically God leaves them to experience what they see as evil and what he allows in their life as evil, or seemingly so, until they long for him. And he doesn't always do it that way. With me, he did it in a different way. I was in love. The whole universe was singing to me. And I was so well furnished with joy and happiness that I could let go what I loved, if that was what was best for it. Now you may say, but with God I know that he is what's best for everybody. And my reply is yes, but not necessarily now. For some people have to go through great sorrow before they can have great love for God. Others seem blessed in having such love for those around them that they're drawn to God through love and joy. I don't know why some are different to others. In the temporal, I can note the association with those that have experienced love as a child, respond to love purpose to be a personification of love, I suppose. I do suppose, indeed. Whereas those that have had great difficulty can respond in one or two ways. React against it and love because they know what they value by contrast. Or take on such bitterness in their own beliefs and outlook. It's as if the hatred dwells in them. And until they long for release from such, they stay with it. It's very sad, isn't it? So it seems to imply they have to go through great sorrow before they can bounce back. But Jesus is not healing every sick person. Is not putting everything right. Is not correcting Pilate or Satan. Is not stopping Judas betraying him. Is not forcing those to hear like the Pharisees who do not wish to hear. I have to say, given my values, that he must be doing it for good, else he would be doing, meeting all these needs instead of focusing on those that have ears to hear. I choose to assume that he's doing what's absolutely right, even though because I assume that he loves all. In the universe of uncertainty and scarcity, he focuses on those that have ears to hear. And I hold this is for good reason. Not because he doesn't love all life, but because not all life is ready to hear yet. In other words, this is a creation that we are in, not a created. God is not finished with us who are in the creation yet, and he will in the fullness of time. Manufacturing takes time and resources, energy, thought, application. How much more the creativity of our God in bringing to adulthood his children as fantastic members of the host of heaven, like his very self. Perfect, wonderful company for him. Perfect in the sense of incredibly varied and in harmony, a blessing to all. Love you, Dad. You see, it's not that Jesus was loving everybody flat out. He loved special people, those that came to him, sat at his feet, listened to him. Loved the woman who wanted to just be with him more than meeting some perceived need in the kitchen and for the group. The Mary and Martha story in the Jesus story. Quite simply, those who chose to adore him. The very simple rule here, you know, you should choose to love those that choose to love you. Be who you are, which is another way of saying you should love your God with all your heart, soul, mind and strength. And those that fall in love with you are goodness. You need to love them as yourself. It's those that you so focus on, giving them what you have. And all you truly have of value is your view of your God, as far as you can see. And therefore that's what you must do and be. And you will trust God to do all the rest. And that might be quite a lot. Perhaps an incredible amount. But nothing is too hard for our God. He's an all-powerful God that loves you. This is who your God is to you. And it's what he is to you that counts. Those who have ears to hear, let them hear. I am come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Bless you. Thank you, Dad.